Hey everyone, Damien Dudovic here from the Demon Network once more, bringing you a 2 vs 2 Dawn of War Soulstorm replay on the map Doom Spiral. So, as you can see, we got Sickness Palm and Jaren Kill versus, well, some rather big scaffolding there, but anyway, this is Ducher Stahl as the Battle Sisters doing it for themselves, and Friend as the Necrons doing it for themselves as well. So there you go. I was hoping to cast a longer game, however, well, it was actually a particular replay I was looking forward to, a 40-minute game on the Penria Lowlands map, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, that replay just didn't work with that game, so not entirely sure why, but those are the breaks. So in either case, yeah, I'll be doing another replay on this rather popular Doom Spiral map. And yeah, it's not such a bad map. As you can see, it's got nice little walkway between two bases on the same team. A middle approach here with a pretty big area to to fight in, and yeah, an approach from bottom to the rightmost base, and yeah, top to the leftmost base, as you can see. So yes, good stuff indeed. And we'll just have a look at the opening build orders. Looks like we're not going to be seeing too much early harassment by the Space Marine player Sickness Palm. Started off with a Space Marine squad and a Force Commander. As for the Imperial Guard, not seeing too much deviation from the standard play either, although he has gone for an early Commissar, as you can see. And yeah, he's going for a rather standard start as well on his command squad. As for the Necron, seeing some pretty standard stuff as well. Looks like the Necron warriors are coming in to do a bit of damage, with the Necron lot about to be finished, although... Okay, so it looks like they'll be finished at roughly the same time, although the Space Marine player will have a slight advantage of being able to get the Force Commander out to fight these Necrons before this Necron Lord will be able to come out. Although if he teleports the Necron Lord though, which I think he was about to, I'm not entirely sure where he is. Ah, there he is, so looks like, yeah, they're just going to retreat. Well, at the same time we have bit of light harassment actually. Surprised that they're going straight for the barracks building. They might be better off going for a plasma generator instead. And that's good, as you can see, the Psycho actually just pushed the Canoness side. As for the Battle Sisters are doing, seeing a pretty standard play for them so far, and I'm actually surprised that it looks like Imperial Guard player might just be able to kill off this barracks building, which should be a pretty significant disadvantage, especially this early on for the Battle Sisters, and down that building goes, so not too bad at all. And, yeah, rather scared Imperial Guardsmen just running off as well, but the damage has certainly been done though, and at the same time they were able to get the Necron player to pull their forces away. So I'm just trying to see where the Necron Lord is. So it doesn't seem to be anyway. He's just relaxing. Oh, there you go. He's doing taking a nice little walk in the passageway between the two bases. So yeah, certainly an interesting start indeed. Looks like the Space Marine player has upgraded his listing post, and he's going for another Space Marine squad. So it looks like he's looking to go for a bit more of a standard and economic build, although it looks like he's going to be staying in Tier 1 for a bit longer since he's building the armory instead of going for Tier 2. So we'll most likely be seeing perhaps flamers and yeah, things like frag grenades and possibly plasma pistols, that sort of stuff being researched for the Force Commander and for the Sergeants when the Space Marine player eventually reaches Tier 2. As for the Imperial Guard player, not too much happening on his end. Looks like his troops just standing guard though, as the Imperial Guard would, I suppose. And as for the Battle Sisters, they're building up a couple of plasma generators. Pristine Sanctuary is still up though. They haven't rebuilt their factory, their barracks building yet, so I'm not entirely sure why. It looks like they might be perhaps planning to start on Tier 2 before going for the barracks building again. But in either case, we're seeing a nice little push by the Necron player here. At the same time, Imperial Guard shooting a couple of their little flashlights at that listing post, which isn't doing too much damage. And what do you know? Plasma pistols has been researched, and looks like they're going to. The Space Marine player is going to be researching power weapons as well. Given that he's actually using the Force Commander in, or rather he was using the Force Commander melee. I was going to say that might have been a better idea to actually start off with a power weapon first, but yeah, looks like he's not going to do that. He might actually be better off attaching the Force Commander to a particular squad, given that he's got, wow, 2 full squads of Space Marines. That's going to be pretty vulnerable to any melee, although we're not seeing any melee troops being built by Metal Sisters or by the Necrons yet, although by the time this summoning core goes up we might also see some flayed ones being built. And there you go. Force Commander has a nice big hammer to swing around thanks to that upgrade, and yeah, we're just chasing the Necron warriors around a bit as well. Just having a look at some respective health actually. Necron Lord, 1317, 12. That's actually, yeah, what do you know? The Force Commander has actually got a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to pure health compared to the Necron Lord, so looks like the Necron player sees this and he might just be trying to get a few free hits on the Force Commander. Looks like it's actually working out pretty well, though he teleported his Necron Lord away before we would get too much more damage. At the same time, though, we do have the Battle Sisters coming in, doing it for themselves. Necron Lord, okay, he actually teleported straight into the middle of the Space Marine squad, and he activated the Chronometron ability as well. So, pretty good, good job actually, being assisted by these Battle Sisters at the same time. And yeah, as you can see, he's just tearing out a couple of Space Marines as well. So yeah, it looks like the Imperial Guard player might be in a bit of trouble, especially if his command squad goes down. So he's got a single guy left, so he's going to need a bit of time, a bit of resources to rebuild that, but at the same time the Space Marine Commander is going for tier 2, and Imperial Guard is ready at tier 2 actually. As the Battle Sisters, they're also going for tier 2, so they'll be able to make it a bit sooner than the Space Marines. And looks like Necron's going for tier 2 as well, so everyone going at tier 2 at pretty similar times actually. Seeing too much happening at the moment, so it looks like, yeah, Pure Guard, sorry, not Pure Guard, the Necrons and the Battle Sisters are concentrating their forces here, and Pure Guard and Space Marines doing the same thing, with the Space Marines being a bit further behind actually. So we're not going to be seeing early vehicles for this Space Marine player, instead we're actually going to be seeing possibly a triple hero build actually. He's building a Chaplain and a Sacred Artifact, so we might actually see either a triple hero build or possibly maybe a triple hero build and Grey Knights as well. So actually would come in handy against this sort of heavy ranged stance that the bottom left team seems to have taken. And at the same time it looks like the Necron Lord's doing a bit of a light harassment here, while the Battle Sisters are doing it for themselves, of course, capture the critical location. Necron Lord has taken quite a few hits though, so might not want to overextend him too much, or else is going to lose him pretty badly. It is something you don't see too often. The Space Marine players actually upgraded Scout Marines with plasma guns. And interestingly, I'm pretty sure the Scout Marines, their weapons don't actually upgrade with their weapon upgrades from the armory, except for their sniper rifle. Not entirely sure why, but those are the breaks there. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, they're just wanting to make the Space Marines a bit more useful, and the Scout Marines more useful, should I say. Yeah, it looks like everybody's actually got plasma guns, which actually, well, except for this squad, as you can see, which actually could come in handy. And what do you know, we got Grey Knights being used as well. So we are seeing Chaplain. It's interesting, they're not combining the Chaplain with the Grey Knight squad, especially with the Force Weapons upgrade. He'd be able to do pretty good damage along with the Grey Knights, and he'd be able to stay closer with them to heal them up as well. And in fact, if I remember correctly, if you attach the Grey Knight, the Chaplain or the Apothecary to a squad, they also regenerate the health of squad members as well. So get a bit of a double regenerating effect there. Or actually I think it's multiplied with more than that, but it's pretty good in either case. I'm surprised that okay, so yeah, it looks like he's finally attached the Chaplain to this Grey Knight squad, and might just see them do a bit of damage actually. Fortunately, one of the Grey Knights is sort of, I don't know, he's sort of hanging in the air a bit there, and unfortunately we've got the Solar Pulse ability going down. So it's a good thing, yeah, that the Space Marine player decided to go with the the plasma rifles, because that allows them to do damage on the move, and at the same time it allows them to not have to set up the weapons either. So we're actually going for a heavy weapons up increase for the Space Marine player, and the inspiring aura research for the Force Commander. So we might not see a Librarian for some time actually. At the same time, the Imperial Guard player is going for tier 3 already. Battle Sisters are doing something or other. They got vehicle plants out. I don't see any vehicles out for them though. And the Necron player, oh there we go, we got a Rhino transport being brought out. And unfortunately the Scout Marines barely not being able to capture or decapture this strategic point, as you can see. And good old Grey Knights and the Chaplain getting stuck right in the thick of it, so to speak. Although by the looks of it, the Necron Lord is doing a pretty good job ignoring them, and yeah, just going straight for the Space Marines range squad actually. And unfortunately, wow, the Grey Knight squad has actually been completely annihilated. It looks like they might have actually overextended them a bit there. Well, almost completely completely annihilated, should I say. Well, they have managed to keep the Force Commander alive, and don't seem to be seeing any more units coming out. So given the disparity between the power and requisition resource for the Space Marine player, he might actually do a pretty good job in going with vehicles as well, especially if he's going to be staying in tier 2 for a while, which seems to be the case at the moment. And as you heard, yeah, it looks like the top right team has captured the middle critical location as well, but at the same time we do have a slow advance by the Battle Sisters and the Necron player as well on the Space Marine player base. So interestingly, Space Marine player decided to go for some Scout Marines. Surprised they haven't upgraded all of their listing posts yet. This one here is still unupgraded for whatever reason. Because yeah, it would serve as pretty good defense, and yeah, provides more requisition as well. But it'll be able to defend these two power plants and possibly the armory as well a little bit. But yeah. And especially yeah, given the amount of requisition that the Space Marine player has, and he doesn't have any vehicles being produced, so he'll definitely want to do everything he can to maximise his requisition income. Although he's going to be in a bit of trouble actually if this Necron player keeps attacking, and unfortunately, as you can see, he's managed to destroy the barracks building. Although we're seeing a nice little flaming ability being used, or rather that was the bombardment ability being used by the good old command squad, so he might just be see the Space Marines getting bailed out by the Imperial Guard, which would be kind of funny really, because it's usually the other way around in the Warhammer 40,000 lore, so to speak. And yeah, we're seeing a Chaplain being built for the Space Marines, but the thing with the Chaplain is he doesn't actually have that much health for a commander unit, even though he does have that nice little regeneration ability. But so he actually works, well, he works the best when he's part of a squad like the Grey Knights or just a regular Space Marine squad even. But yeah, unfortunately, he's just going to have a pretty hard time when he gets built out though. Though we do have another Space Marine squad here, so he might actually get attached to that second Space Marine squad, although that might not matter too much because this Space Marine player doesn't really have that much left. Necron player is just going to town on the Space Marine player base, and yeah, Space Marines and the Imperial Guard not doing such a bad job in trying to hold them back, but unfortunately the Space Marine player's base is slowly getting destroyed though. So he does have one single builder out, so he might actually want to start building a barracks building or something in the Imperial Guard space once he actually gets the money for it. Although we are starting to see Battle Sister squads and Necron squads slowly getting killed off though, so might be able to see the attack deflected, but the problem is there's nothing stopping the Necron player and the Battle Sisters from just rebuilding their squads. And yeah, given that they do have two full bases compared to the Space Marines, well, compared to the remains of the Space Marines base and the Imperial Guard base, that's going to put them at a bit of a disadvantage actually. So, well, interestingly enough, we are seeing the Necrons and the Battle Sisters retreating actually, which is kind of surprising really, because really even if they get torn up a bit, they can afford to replace their troops more so than the Imperial Guard and the Space Marines can afford to replace their troops. I mean, the Space Marine player can't even replace any of his troops because his barracks has been destroyed. So the only thing he can build is Well, he can reinforce his squads, of course. But of course, he can't transport new squads, which is kind of ridiculous, really. And yeah, as you can see, he can still build heavy weapons, but still running into a bit of a sorry, a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to troop numbers against the Battle Sisters and Necrons. But what do you know? We're actually seeing a bit of a counter-attack being applied by the Imperial Guard with the Space Marines slowly coming in. So you're not really seeing any more buildings being built. It looks like yeah, they're rebuilding their listening posts by the looks of that. And boom, down goes another listening post. So what do you know? We might actually see something similar happen to the Battle Sisters that we saw happening to the Space Marine player. Although I would say most likely not, though. We're seeing pretty big dangerous armies engaging the Imperial Guard and the Space Marines here, so it might actually, and not to mention, yeah, Battle Sisters and Necrons can certainly afford to rebuild their troops more so than the other players, like I mentioned before. So I don't know how much of a good move this is, and as you can see, yeah, the Space Marine player is retreating his remaining troops. He certainly doesn't want to lose entire squads, especially at this point, with no barracks building to replace them. Yeah, let's just check. Well, what do you know? So the Sergeant does indeed require a barracks to actually be produced. So yeah, not really seeing any more, not seeing any sergeants in this couple of poultry squads either. So the Space Marine Commander looks like he's just looking to rebuild his army at the moment. At the same time, though, the Imperial Guard is having a bit of a tough time. Battle Sisters, as you can see, they can actually be upgraded with 5 heavy bolters compared to the 4 heavy bolters used by the Space Marines. That just allows them to output that much more heavy ranged firepower. And at the same time they do have some Celestians as well. Yeah, it's interesting. And one particular tactic you see by the Battle Sisters, especially earlier on, is when they go for an early tier 2 and then they go for Celestians. Because Celestians actually aren't too bad in melee, and aren't too bad actually in ranged, when they're combined with commander units. Because they actually get, what is it, heavy high armor, basically the elite armor used by elite infantry, and they can be built just like a regular squad, so there's no cap on them or anything, which one could say that might make them a little bit overpowered, but given how average the rest of their army is, it's not really that bad, really. You certainly can't rely on them to win you the game, though, but you can certainly rely on Celestians to be able to take quite a few hits and keep on going, even while artillery is shooting them. So they might actually shoot the artillery back, though. And what do you know, they are. For some reason there's oh, there you go, so Sister Superior was not shooting there for a second, not entirely sure why. But there you go, they managed to destroy that Basilisk after all. What do you know, Space Marines actually building a machine cult instead of a barracks building. So I'm surprised that they actually built it in their own base rather than the Imperial Guard base. Imperial Guard base has certainly got some more defenses set up than the Space Marine base does, but there you go, for whatever reason they decided to do that, and of course they've started off with a Rhino transport. So now they'll be able to transport their 2 squads wherever they want, my god. Will that be enough to shift the game over, though? That's the question. So what do you know, that entire Celestian squad has been utterly destroyed, and what do you know, Imperial Guard are actually going to do a bit of damage inside the Battle Sisters base by looks of it, but Battle Sisters reinforcements are on the way, as well as a couple of Necron Scarabs to, I don't know, to serve as detection, I suppose, maybe. Well, at the same time, though, we're seeing a nice little 2-pronged attack by the Space Marine player. So they're actually completely maxed out on plasma guns, which is actually kind of surprising, really. You might want to replace some of those plasma guns with rocket launchers, especially when you're faced up against vehicles like this Destroyer. Although the interesting thing about plasma guns is that they don't do too badly against vehicles, you can see. So, and at the same time, they do have the other vehicles they can use, such as the good old Land Speeder Tempest. So it's an advanced fighter, which as you can see is hovering, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 meters off the ground. So
6 minutes until.
Because really, why would you need to go any higher than that? When you're in an aircraft, especially I think in these aircraft or other spacecraft. Actually, I can serve a spacecraft as well. But there you go. Why not just stay up there while you can? Well, really, when you can just get shot by infantry weapons on the ground. Indeed. But anyway, the sarcastic quips. Interesting enough, looks like a Necron Lord for some reason deciding to come in there, although he's going to be facing a chaplain and a force commander, so I don't know if really that's the best thing to do, especially as this actually he might be able to do quite a bit of damage to the squads themselves. So yeah, they're being forced to retreat to their own transport. Looks like one squad has actually been completely destroyed, which will certainly be a pretty big blow, given that the Space Marine Commander doesn't have a barracks building, but he does have a orbital relay set up, so funnily enough, you can actually jump in Space Marine troops. However, you still can't, because he doesn't have the chapel barracks, you can't create the sergeant, which is kind of funny really. Yeah, it looks like we've got Battle Sisters using some vehicles of their own, as you can see. And a rather well executed Curse the Machine Spirit ability being used on the Penitent engine, and there it goes. And of course the Necrons are starting to do a bit of damage towards the Space Marine player base as well, perhaps sensing that they're a bit weakened at the moment, and they might actually be right. They've only got a single land speeder Tempest up and no troops on the ground from what I can see, although they did have something built in this oh, never mind, that was orbital relay. Okay, they do have some troops on the ground, but not much to say the least, though, that they're making a Predator and they're going for the vehicle cap increase as well to make it possible, so they might be able to do a bit of damage, and they might actually be able to get it out before this vehicle plant gets destroyed. Well, at the same time, though, seeing a pretty major battle happening in the Battle Sister space. Actually, much of the base has been destroyed, and yeah, as you can see, these couple of Battle Sister squads are being held off by the command squad with some pretty good use of the fanaticism ability. So, actually, pretty sure it's fanaticism. Yeah. Well, in either case, the priests have an ability called fanaticism that allows the entire squad not to take any damage for 10 seconds, and also increases their amount of damage that they actually do. So it's actually oh, and it restores their morale as well, actually. So it's a pretty good ability in general, actually. You normally wouldn't see this many priests being used, actually, in a command squad, but yeah, it looks like they most likely use that many priests in order to be able to use the good old fanaticism ability, because usually you would see a single priest to provide the speed and damage bonus, and the occasional use of the fanaticism ability, combined with free psychers to be able to use their spells, such as disabling vehicles like this Penitent engine that was being a pain in the ass, and also casting lightning strike and other stuff on infantry squads to do a bit of damage. But in either case, apparently that wasn't needed. I suppose it might just be a matter of taste, really. Matter of play style, and yeah, apparently this particular play style works pretty well for this Imperial Guard player. What's not working too well for the Space Marine player, however, is this Necron force who's decided to do a bit of trouble in their own base. Although they managed to keep the orbital relay alive, the stronghold's still alive, and they do have a barracks building which is still alive as well. Unfortunately, the vehicle production plant has gone down, and their army has gone down as well. They certainly might want to move that's Terminator squad, because as you can see they're under the effect of that solar pulse ability. So it looks like they'll be used in a bit of a close range stance, because they're not going for assault cannons. Oh, because they need an armory, of course. And they're going for more squad members instead. And yeah, as you can see, they actually walk pretty damn slowly, actually. Having a hell of a melee in here. I think Space Marine player might have been better off going with more melee-oriented troops, especially since he had the chaplain in the mix, who is not actually attached to a single squad at all. And yeah, given the amount of existing troops that we have at the moment, but can do. Surprise, and the Penitent Engine will be able to do a bit of damage, as you can see, and the Terminator Squad might actually be able to get a few hits off, but for some reason they're deciding to move back towards the lead troops that were attacking them before. We're not entirely sure what has possessed them to do that. I guess they just feel like not doing much really. They want to engage them up close and not do much damage at all. Penitent Engine actually forcing that Cascade Squad to go into their vehicle production facility, and so we've got another Limonros battle tank coming in. Basilisk doing a bit of splash damage. Want to be careful with using the Basilisk actually, because it does friendly fire as well, so if you have melee troops attacking your own troops and use a Basilisk on them, then chances are it'll be doing a bit of damage to your troops as well. If not, yeah, at the same amount of damage as it'll be doing on the enemy troops as well actually, because it's a bit of an inaccurate gun as well. So finally we have Assault Space Marines being built and deployed somewhere, not entirely sure where they are. Ah, there you go, there they are. And the good old Force Commander being built as well. So where's the Chaplain? He still hasn't attached him to a squad, and as you can see here, okay, he's finally attached him to the Assault Space Marine squad. It's about time. So what do you know, Necroplayer's actually been able to build an obelisk right in the Space Marine player's base. Certainly would want to get rid of that. So once again, the Space Marine player is certainly taking a bit of a beating, but he's still kicking, And this time, of course, the Battle Sisters have taken quite a bit of a beating as well, but they have managed to make the Shrine of the Living Saint. But there's no relics on this map, actually, now that I think of it. So yeah, unfortunately, it looks like they would have only have made that that building so they'll be able to make the Penitent Engines. The problem is they don't seem to have any builders, I think. Oh, they do have a single builder, but no HQ or any vehicle production plants, so they won't be doing too much, to say the least. I like the Space Marine player who's doing a little bit of damage, a little bit. So the pimped out destroyers, unfortunately, being forced to withdraw. So what do you know? It looks like Necrons are moving up as well to tier 4. And can't really have that to making an oh, that's right, you still need the relic to be able to make those super units. So seeing a pretty nice two-pronged attack by Space Marines and the Imperial Guard. Imperial Guard attacking the remainder of the Battle Sisters base and doing a pretty good job of it as well, actually. So there's only some interesting back and forth action in this game. By the looks of the Space Marine player and the Imperial Guard player will be able most likely be winning, unless if the Necron player and the Battle Sister player can somehow pull something out. But the problem is though, Battle Sister player doesn't really have much left at all. At least when the Space Marine player's base was pummeled, the Stronghold remained. And well, a Stronghold is a pretty important building in this game, especially, well, if you're unless if you're maybe a player like Orcs and you're not and you went to tier 4 when it was destroyed. The HQ building is especially important because it's where your tier research is being done. So if you destroy that, or if that building's destroyed, then yeah, you lose all that research. Not only do you have to rebuild the building, but you have to then tech up again to tier 2, then to tier 3, pretty slowly, and at a pretty big expense as well. So it's a massive disruption to the other player if you can destroy the HQ. But of course the HQ is pretty hardy as well. And as you can see, the pretty much the entirety of the Battle Sisters base has been destroyed. Final building being destroyed. Then there goes the Battle Sisters player, and we'll most likely see the Necron player quitting as well. Though he might fight to the death, though, you never know. Yeah, some comments by the player there, so. And yeah, Chunk Kill just saying good game well played, so pretty sportsmanlike as well. And as for the Necron player, unless if they can pull a win in a couple of minutes time, I don't think we're going to be seeing them doing too well actually. What can you do? It was a pretty good game. I still wanted to do a commentary on that again. What can you do? So at least Necron player will go out with a bit of a bang. He turned his Necron Lord into the essence of the Deceiver. It's pretty spicy essence there indeed, and yeah, he's got a fake monolith. Yeah, because the real one's still there, so he's got a fake monolith to do a bit of disruption, as you can see. But it'll most likely only delay the inevitable, but although... no, actually no, it'll only be delaying the inevitable. But in any case, it's good to see players go out with a bit of bang instead of, you know, just quitting at the first sign of resistance. So. There you go. By the looks of it though, that's good. Looks like the Deceiver used the ability that makes the troops turn against each other. However, we saw the Fanaticism ability being used by the priests, so the Ogrins, while they're attacking each other, they're still not actually doing any damage. And yeah, looks like the Necron Lord has yeah, finished going on his little Essence of Deceiver bender, and yeah, he's just back to his plain old effervescent self, I suppose. As far as the Mortars just marching... oh, never mind. Well, they were just marching past the Terminators, taking full range damage, and yeah, it didn't really matter too much because the entire Necron base just disappeared in a puff of smoke, as it would. So yeah, there you go. So interesting 2 versus 2 there. So bit of back and forth action. I'd say yeah, the biggest turning points were yeah, certainly when the Spaceman player base was almost destroyed, but they were able to hold on to their stronghold at the very least. And yeah, also when the Battle Sisters base was destroyed, pretty much completely destroyed, and their HQ building was destroyed at the same time. And they were at, I'm pretty sure they might have been either at Tier 2 or at Tier 3 at the time. So yeah, they were pretty behind, and yeah, they never really caught up, as you could see. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff indeed. So yeah, I'll be uploading this video a bit later on today, and yeah, this has been Damien Vidovich signing off.